161, great to make the hook up there, Matt.
That's user about.
Yeah, Matt, J. Juliet Alpha Yankee was my name for your further.
Hi, this is CBRadioMagazine.com, and we've got the Uniden Bearcat 980 SSB. Been a lot of talk about this radio, first Uniden single sideband radio in a long time. We all love the Uniden Grant series. Those were great radios. We've been waiting for Uniden to get back into single sideband radios for quite a long time. They put a lot of work into this one, and it's similar in design to their 680, 880. It's got some of the same functions, menu options. It's a newer style. They've gone more towards the newer style radios. Surface mount technology inside, digital display, menu-driven options. Very stable on frequency, and you know, from what we're going to test, hopefully it's going to be a good talker. But let's turn on the radio, give everyone a look here. So, radio comes on. We've got backlit control knobs here. Digital display here. We've got all of our buttons here. These are all lit up. Let me turn out the lights real quick. So you can see backlit knobs, backlit writing on the controls, so you can see what you're doing. The only control that isn't lit up is the fine and coarse clarifier over on the right side, but it is labeled as here on the face. All of your buttons light up. As you press them, you'll see the red letting you know which one you have activated. So all of these light up. Let me turn the lights back on. Alright, so let's go through the knobs real quick and the controls, and then we'll go into the buttons, then we'll go into the menu, and we'll talk all through the different functions of the radio. Starting on the left side, on-off control in the middle. It's also your volume. Squelch on the outside. Over here on the right side, we've got your channel selector. You can scroll through really quickly. Haven't had any problems with it missing frequencies like some of the knobs. Control isn't, going to be like an old Uniden Grant or a Cobra 29. Those types of radios, they had that real solid feel, but it definitely has a good click to it as you change through. So I give it a plus on that. They're definitely better than some of the other radios where the controls felt a little flimsy as you try and flip through. Below this, that is your fine and coarse clarifier. Fine clarifiers on the inside, coarse clarifiers on the outside. Let's go to our buttons. Okay, so let's discuss the buttons that are along the side and the bottom here. Starting off on the left-hand side. You've got your signal strength RF meter, signal strength incoming signals. When you key up, it shows your RF output. If you press it once, it takes you into calibration mode. If you press down on the key, and then you can use the frequency control to adjust where the calibration setting will be. You want it right on the calibration. And then when you push this button one more time, it takes you into SWR. Key up and it shows your SWR. It shows it both on the bar graph here, and it shows in an actual digital readout. So very cool for that. Last time you press it, it'll take you back to your SRF menu. CBPA function. PA, CB. Pretty simple for that. Memory and memory scan. Memory scan and memory scan. So you got a couple options here. You can go into a scan function. We can turn up our squelch and it'll go through the frequencies. When the squelch is broken, it'll stop. There is a memory scan option. You can save frequencies and then scan those frequencies. What it'll do is it'll only scan the frequencies that you have saved. So let me show you how to save a frequency. Well, clear. Okay, so first of all, we'll go to channel 6, for instance. We'll hold in the memory button. It'll save it. And we'll go to channel 38. It'll save it. Channel 19. Save it. And now we can go into our memory scan. There we go. And you'll see it's only scanning the frequencies that I have selected. So you have the scan function, so you can scan through the entire 40 channels. And you have your memory scan. You can save your memory frequencies and then only scan them. There's one other option where you can save the memory frequencies, and then as you turn the control, it will only show the memory frequencies. So that's the last option. 919 and norm button shows channel 9, channel 19, and back to norm. That's a quick access option. A&L, noise blank, and both of them. So you can select one, the other, or both. In lower sideband, upper sideband mode, only the noise blank comes on. So don't know exactly how that is working out, but that's does that as we've gone through. Talkback. Talkback is on. When you key up, you can adjust the talkback. So, oops, there we go. There we go. We key up, we can turn our talkback on. 1 2 3 1 2 3 audio test. This is upper sideband talkback. So you can see the talkback is quite loud. That's with the power microphone. The talkback is adjustable and goes up to 15. So once again, you push the button, you key up, and while you're holding the key, you can adjust the level of the talkback. Talkback works on AM and single sideband, and it sounds great. It's not some cheap talkback that's just piped through the audio section. It actually is very clear and sounds really good. So I like the talkback feature so far. Once again, very loud with the power microphone and also with the mic gain up. RF gain has a local and DX option. The microphone gain works the same as the talkback. You key up and you can adjust it between 1 and 4. The weather frequencies, you can turn those on. You can have it in a scan option, or you can just flip through them.
Issued at 4 p.m. Tuesday, June 19th, for tonight, Wednesday, and Wednesday night.
And it shows the frequency here. As far as the weather frequencies go, first of all, I wasn't real impressed with the receive on them. It didn't pick them up very sensitive relative to other weather stations I've received on other weather radios, other CBs that had weather capability. So it didn't receive it particularly well for the weather stations. I don't know exactly why that was. Second thing was, inside the radio, the squelch on the weather frequencies was actually turned up so high that I couldn't hear anything on any of them. So I actually went inside and adjusted it, and then I could hear them all. But none of them were breaking the squelch from the factory. So not super impressed with the weather function, though. It does receive fine. I did finally get one in here. Normally I can receive 2 of them, but it doesn't have a real strong receive on the weather frequency. Might just be the way this was adjusted at the factory. We'll have to play with that a bit more. So we've gone through these and these buttons here. We've gone through the controls. Let's talk about your microphone jack. And we've got a microphone plug in there right now. I'll pull that out so you can have a look. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a 6-pin microphone jack. And from the factory, they do, oops, sorry, hasty camera work tonight. They do include a special adapter. The adapter is a 6-pin to a 4-pin. They know that the majority of people are running 4-pin microphones out there, power microphones, aftermarket microphones. The radio does come with its own stock 6-pin microphone that fits the radio, but they do include the adapter because they know a lot of people are into the aftermarket stuff. The extension piece works absolutely perfectly, no problem. I hooked it up to my Turner Plus 3 that's wired to 4-pin. I also hooked it up to a stock SRA 158, no problem. And they have talked about a Bluetooth wireless microphone being available for this radio. I assume you'd plug in a little plug here, and then something would wirelessly connect from the microphone to the radio. So we'll have to see how that works when that comes out. So that's how that works. And the stock microphone, I'll show you that in the video as well here when we get a chance. And once again, you just take your 4-pin section and connect it up with your radio, or sorry, your microphone that you're using that's a 4-pin microphone. Alright, get back to business here. Let's go into the function menu and show you how that works. To enter into the function menu, you'll press down on the channel selector, and it gives you the menu options here. The first thing is to go through day-night. You can select the color, you can select the contrast, the brightness, the weather scan option, you can turn that on or off. You can do the diagnostic features, and then you can exit. So first thing, we'll go into the day and the night, and you can choose the option for which one of those. You can set up each one separately. So we can go into our colors. You can pick your day color. So the whole thing is you can set up your day and night separately. So these are our 7 colors. So blue, green, light blue, red, purple, another type of green, and kind of a bright white blue. You can go into your night option, which is your dimmer option. You can select the colors there. So that way you can set it up between your night and day. We've shown you this on some of the other radios, so I won't explain it in a whole lot of detail, but basically you can go through and select, hey, during the day I want the bright, blue color that's light, and at night in the cab I don't want it to be super bright, so I'll do a darker red color or something. So that's kind of the option for that. Contrast. You can select both your day and night contrast. Contrast, I don't know how much is going to show up on the video here, but definitely gets brighter. There you go. And brightness, same thing. Dim, bright, dim, bright. There you go. Weather scan option, you can turn that on or off. Diagnostic features. You can go in and check your voltage. You press the button and it shows you your voltage. Tells you if you pass your voltage check, if you have enough voltage for the radio. You can go in and do a RF output. So we'll go into AM before we do that. Alright, diagnostics, RF output, press the thing, it says push to talk. We pass, it means the output on the radio is correct. There's an antenna option, so you can check your antenna, push to talk, tells us we pass, means we have a good SWR. And those are the 3 options for the diagnostic check. And that's it, folks. Let's talk about the display just a little bit. Got a pointer stick here. Frequency is shown below here, channel up here. Of course, all of your options as you select them: AM, upper sideband, lower sideband, noise blank, scan, memory, weather alert, weather's over here, alerts here, calibration will show up, transmit, receive, local and DX, and PA option. Those are all of your display options that will show up here on the menu, on the display. So your bar graph, segmented, so they all work individually, which is nice. So you have a nice segmented menu for your receive. The radio itself is very small. We'll show you that. It's not a full-size radio like we've had in the past. It is smaller. Should fit into installs a lot nicer. You have your front-facing microphone, of course, so it should be a little bit easier. You don't need as much space. It's not coming out the side. I am going to show you the inside of the radio, and then I'll talk a little bit about the performance we've seen so far in the output. So this is the inside of the radio. I'm going to try and show you guys some of the adjustment points. It might get a little blurry just because it's hard for the camera to zoom in on these tiny little points inside the radio. Surface mount technology, not a whole lot of wires running around like the old radios. Once again, just ribbon cables connecting the face to the board, and that's about it. The pots on the radio, they are here, and you can see some along here. You can see some here. They are quite small. And adjustment wise, they work a little bit differently than some of the other ones that you're used to. In the back here, single final. You can see the coils and your power input here on this side. So let me show you the tuning points. They are labeled on the board, which is nice. ALC is going to be right back here. It's going to be for single sideband. And when you adjust these types of pots that are on these radios, when you turn them, it's not like the old style where you turn them and they hit a stopping point. These ones can go all the way around, so you can turn it to max, and if you just keep turning it, it goes right back down to the lowest value again. So you have to be careful when adjusting them. That's your ALC over there. AM power output, set your dead key, is going to be over here. I believe that's RT206, a little hard to see here. So AM power is over here. AMC, there's going to be 5 pots here and then a 6th one over, and that is your AMC modulation control. And with this radio, you can pretty much turn everything up and not have a huge amount of problems. Dead key from the factory was a 4-watt dead key. I did adjust it down a little bit just to see, so you can adjust it down with the pot down to 1 watt to run your amp or whatever you want to do. And swing is not huge on AM. Even with the desk microphones, power microphones, not a huge amount of swing. Seen about 8 to 10 watts on AM swing so far. With single sideband with adjustment to the ALC, we are peaking at about 15. Your average talking is going to be about 10 to 12. So not a huge amount of wattage output. It's not, going to be quite as much as something like you'd see on a 959 with just a little bit of tuning. May have to mess around a little bit more with these to get a little bit more out. But so far, reports. I did get some excellent reports back on sideband once I made some adjustments to the ALC. Got the radio swinging a little bit. Out of the box, even before I made adjustments with just the desk mic, I made a 40-mile contact with just a barefoot radio. So actually sounded pretty good on that. And yeah, so far with the desk mic, the microphone gain turned up, ALC adjusted up. I've been told it has super nice punchy audio. So very good to hear that so far on single sideband reports are very good. Impressive on the audio. So we'll have to do some more testing to see what we think. We'll try and get some recordings on the air so you guys can hear it as well. Okay, back of the radio. Made in China. Antenna jack, PA speaker jack, external speaker jack, and 3-pin standard power cord. Very simple, not a whole lot going on. Everything you need there. Nice to see the same 3-pin power jack. Nice to have that standard. External speaker, PA jack, everything you guys are used to. So nothing too exciting on the back of the radio. Alright, this is the standard microphone that's coming with the radio. It's got kind of the transformer look going on there. All you guys that are old Optimus Prime fans will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's the microphone that goes along with the radio. And the size of the radio. Radio from the back connector to the front knobs is about 9 inches from the antenna connector to the knobs, 8.5 without the antenna connector. It's about a 7 1/4 inches wide and 2 1/4 inches tall on the side. So case screws, if you guys need to take the case off, screw here on the cover, screw on the back, and 2 on each side. So you got 6 screws altogether to remove. My first impressions on the radio. Very easy to use. The radio overall, it reminds me actually of some of the old radios. Even though it does have the menu function on it, it's not quite as complicated as some of the other newer radios that have the programming and more features and everything else. It's simple, on-off, squelch, channel changing, clarifier. Even the buttons to, they're taking you into a menu mode, with the mic gain and the talkback and things like that. Still very simple to figure out. Everything else here is just pressing buttons, and the menu is really only for changing the colors and a couple of the weather option and if you want to do your diagnostics. So there isn't a whole lot of stuff to do in the menu. Once again, you can change your colors on this radio and, pick any choice that you're looking for. So definitely cool for that. It affects the full display. I like the fact that all the colors and stuff are matching. Again, all the lights light up and all the controls, so you can see everything here. You can see all the buttons light up. So it's really nice to see that. The radio itself, again, easy to use, very functional. Receive is actually pretty quiet. So far on single sideband, I haven't put this into mobile yet, but the receive has been fairly quiet, actually quieter than some of the other exports we've recently tested. The receive quality is very, very good. Very stable on frequency. Haven't even had to touch the clarifier yet with anybody. The noise in terms of listening on single sideband, I haven't done a whole lot of AM yet, so I'm not sure exactly there, but single sideband, everybody I've listened to, it's been coming in real well, so very easy to hear people, very clear, so everybody sounds very natural. The channel rejection, I did test it out. I went down to the store in town, so as on my way back, I tried keying up about a mile away on a couple of different frequencies right near, and channel rejection seems pretty good as well. Microphone gain, once you turn up the microphone gain, you add your power microphone, adjust your ALC up, your AMC, all these types of things. I think this radio is going to talk pretty well. It's going to sound pretty good on the air. Once again, the radio does not have a huge amount of AM swing. It's plenty enough to run an amplifier if you have a low drive type amplifier. You know, you can key up 1 watt, swing up around 8 watts and stuff. You know, on full power around 4 watts, you're still only swinging about 8 to 10 watts. So not a huge amount of output on AM so far. Single sideband, once we've tuned it up, we're peaking about 15 watts max, and just not going to be a huge output type radio. It's a single final radio, and I think that's okay. You match this up, if you're going to run this with an amp, you match it up with a nice amp, it's going to do really well. If you run it barefoot, based on the audio quality on the first transmit I had, even with the low power, you're probably going to be doing okay if you have a good antenna system. Like I said, I made a barefoot contact about 35-40 miles first time out, and I didn't even have the ALC adjusted up, so we weren't even peaking 10 watts. From the factory, they are not doing much for output, so you probably will have to go in and make those adjustments, tune it up a little bit. Other than that, you know, very nice radio. Stable, good receive, you know, fairly good transmit in terms of the output for a single final, and great audio so far on results. Now, this is a very, very preliminary review. I've only had the radio for a day, so this isn't going to be my actual review. This is just my overview and initial impressions. I'm going to do a review on the website once I've had more time to play with it. Also, initially, no additional frequencies for the radio. No idea on how to mod this thing for extra channels yet. We just got these, so I don't even know if it's going to be possible. Uniden probably is trying to walk on the legal side, so it may not be convertible for extra frequencies. This might just be your straight, you know, AM and single sideband CB, which may be okay for most people out there. May be happy with this one. So once again, Uniden Bearcat 980 single sideband radio, retailing about $150. Most retailers might find a little better deal than that. You might find more expensive. For tune-ups, I'd wait and see before I'd pay somebody money to go in and just turn a couple pots right now. That's something most people can do themselves. If people are going to come up with their own mods for this radio, which I'm sure they will, to get them to talk a little bit louder, a little more swing, then you might have something to pay for a peak and tune. As far as tuning the radio, I guess I should say, you know, there shouldn't be any need to align these out of the box. It's digitally controlled and everything, and so the frequency was right on. I could not have adjusted it any better myself. So there shouldn't really be any alignment necessary for the radios. So that part of it, it's not like some of the other radios we've run into, the older ones. So yeah, that's all we got right now, guys. We'll do some receive and transmit audio tests for you. Let you hear what this radio sounds like. We'll do it with the stock microphone and with some aftermarket microphones. Uniden Bearcat 980 SSB, and it's online and in stores now, ready to go.